Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Now you may be wondering where I've been for the last couple of weeks, and that is because I've got an announcement to make. Myself and my girlfriend have just welcomed another child into the world. I didn't announce it originally on the channel because from relatively early on in the pregnancy we had quite a lot of complications. My girlfriend's waters broke actually really early at like 20 weeks or before 20 weeks. But somehow she managed to keep our son in there up until 32 weeks, which is when we had a planned birth. Just this weekend just gone, and we welcomed our son into the world, Cove, at £4 4 ounce. My girlfriend did fantastic. Cove's doing really well at the minute, because I'm sure lots of you guys will probably be asking in the comments. They're both doing great at the minute. Fingers crossed in a few weeks they'll be able to come home. So what that means is things have been a bit quiet at the minute, but now we're back on the bank. So I'm out doing a bit of pike fishing. My sessions are probably going to be short at the minute, but what I'll do is do 2 or 3 sessions at a time and then mix it all together into one video for you guys. So this video is split up into 2. I went out yesterday with Dom for like 2 hours just for a bit of a social call, but it actually went really well out with the dead baits. So I figured I'd come out again today just for 2 hours to get out with the dead baits as well. So what we'll do is I'll show you how my session went with Dom first. We'll talk you through the tactics and rigs that we're using, and then hopefully you'll see a few fish put on the bank, which I know you will because I've already filmed some.
Quality 6-month-old sardine.
We got one. Dom. Yep. Got it. We got one. I knew it was a fish. They're active, aren't they? Hey! There we go. Struck nice and quickly. That's what it's all about. You strike nice and early, you're always going to have a good chance of getting a hook in the mouth, especially when you're using a double treble rig. There we go. The hook's out. There we go, and we can show off our lovely little jack pike. Exactly what we're after. It's got a great big bite mark on this side where bigger pikes had hold of him. So that's absolutely awesome. There could be bigger ones in the area. Let's let this little guy go and see if we can catch any more. So I've just unhooked that pike. I've taken my wire trace out of the net, and then we can just really quickly clip it straight back onto the line like so. And we're ready to get fishing again. Now, there's one thing that kind of grinds my gears when it comes to pike fishing, and that's people trying to justify that deep hooking pike just happens, you know. I had someone comment recently saying, you know, deep hooking fish happens from time to time, so it's a good idea to learn how to unhook deep hooked fish or gut hooked pike. The thing is, it shouldn't really be happening at all. When you get a take from a pike, what you should do is strike it immediately. I can confidently say in all my time pike fishing, I'm 30 years old now, and I've been pike fishing since I was about 14 or 15 years old. And I had one deep hook fish when I was about 16 years old, and it was hooked just into the stomach lining. And since then, I've not had one single gut hooked fish, because I told myself from that moment in time, I'm going to strike as soon as possible the moment I get a take. Unless, of course, it's gin clear water and I can see the fish being funny with it. Because like I say, the moment a pike grabs hold of your bait with 2 treble hooks in, it has got at least 1 hook point in its mouth, and that is more than enough to land a fish on. I've got a bait in the water laying flat on the bottom. Now it's time to rig one horizontal, which sits up in the water. Fishing up in the water in horizontal like that. We got to take. Come on, let's be a massive one. Whoa! I don't know. I think it's bigger than £3 anyway. Yeah, it's about £4 or £5 maybe. We'll go to this bit, it's easier to land them, isn't it? Oh, a bit bigger. Get a tail walk in a minute. I'll give it 7.
6 or 7 pound.
Putting a bend it rod anyway.
£8.
Yeah, it's getting bigger, isn't it? Oh, maybe. Oh, might be 9. Maybe £9. £8, £9. Oh, it's got just 1 hook, is it? Oh, 1 hook in chin.
That's a double there. Right back.
Oh, it's a double. Nice one. You might have to pull the whole rig out, might you? Oh. Oh, awesome, buddy. Oh, look at that.
Double or nothing.
Well happy with that.
Just caught this fantastic pike. Pretty sure it's the biggest one I've caught this year, actually. Absolutely amazing. I actually propped the bait up, made it a bit shallower, fished it against a bush. I didn't really expect much. The weather system's been really weird, got really cold over last night, but I was rewarded. Struck as early as I could do, and it was hooked just in the scissor. So very lucky to land it. What a fantastic fish. I think it was £16, 8 ounce. Absolutely fantastic. Right, let's get this one back. It's an absolute unit of a pike.
Something that I think was important to note after that session ended was both of us were fishing relatively similar tactics. Both of us were fishing the same type of bait, but the difference was my baits were fresh and Dom's, I think he said that his were probably 6 months to a year old. They've been in and out of the freezer repeatedly in between his pike fishing dead bait sessions, whereas mine have only been frozen once and I bought them 3 weeks ago. Now I actually fished the bait that caught that big pike in the exact same swim Dom had been fishing in for the first hour. He'd had his float there for an hour with no action. I put my fresh sardine onto that spot, and within, I'm going to say, no more than 15 to 20 minutes, the float went under and I had that fantastic pike, which ended up being the biggest fish I think I've caught in 2023 so far. So that's absolutely fantastic. So that brings us to this session. I'm out on the canal. I've come to a different area today. I'm only fishing once again for maybe 1 or 2 hours. I'm not really expecting a huge deal today. We had a bit of a cold front last night. I've had a bit of snow. The fish are going to be really lethargic. Maybe if I can get 1 fish, I'll be happy with this afternoon session anyway. But either way, I'm well happy with the way it went yesterday. This bait right next to the one that I've already got down there on the bottom, because this one should run along the opposite bank where there's brambles and stuff hanging over, and hopefully, fingers crossed, might be able to draw a fish out as it drifts down, because we've got some strong winds today. Oh, does that take straight away? We have. Oh my god, how fast was that? Rigged a bait shallow, horizontal. It's taken the bait, and like I said earlier on, going to strike fairly quickly, so it's just taken it straight away into the strike and we're hooked into a fish. It's gone through my other line though. Keep the rod low, so you don't need to wait to set the hook. Oh god! Oh, I broke my float. God damn it! Because I had the reel locked up. There we go. See, as soon as that fish took the bait, we set the hook and we got it. Although I have broken my float, which I'm a bit gutted about. Because the moment a pike picks up a treble hook rig, it has got 1 hook point in its mouth almost every time. Unless it really is a tiny, tiny fish.
Only a small fish, proper chunky little pike. Can't complain though. It's all good fun when they pull that float under. You never know what it's going to be. Let's get this one back.
Now, this is normally an area where I expect to get 1 or 2 bites, even on lures. But unfortunately, I've been hit by the curse of catching a fish on the first cast. That was the first cast with that second rod that I did when I got that jack pike straight away. I've bunny hopped several times over the course of the next 2.5 hours and not had a single twitch on either rod. So I think that's a sign that I should probably start wrapping things up. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's the one to kick things off, getting back into the swing of things. You do not want to know how many takes I've made with this camera today when I've been filming my talking. I really need to get back into it again, don't I, after having a couple of weeks off. I have got a river fishing video coming up very soon. I filmed it a week before the end of the river season. Unfortunately, like I say, having a baby has kind of screwed things up with my filming and editing schedule. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this one. If you want to, feel free to subscribe. If you like the video, don't forget to like it. And I'll catch you guys later.